Hi, I'm Tealish and you're watching Coffee and Clix. Today we're going to be doing a 300-point modern theme format team build. So, and the team build is going to be featuring two recent convention exclusives. Hawkeye and Hawkeye is one of them, and the other one is Captain America, the Asgardian version of Captain America, where he's riding a Pegasus. So, and it's also going to have Miss Marvel on the team. I think this is a pretty cool, there's a lot of cool synergies in this team. It's Avengers Theme team. It is part of the theme format. Keep in mind with the theme format, part of the rules is that every figure has to be unique, so you can't have duplicates of any figure on your team. They all have to share a printed keyword on the card. Every figure has to have a printed keyword that is shared amongst them. As far as sidelines go, you can only have up to 3 figures for a 300-point team, one for every 100 points of your team build. And the sideline figures also have to share the same keyword as your main force. So that's how the theme format works. This team that I want to show you guys that I came up with, I'm going to actually be playing with pretty soon. I think it's going to be a fun team to play with, and it is an Avengers theme team following the theme format. So let's take a look at some of the figures in this team build. So, well, we have Ms. Marvel here. Actually, let's take a look at Hawkeye first. Hawkeye and Hawkeye. So he is a con exclusive. Well, they are a con exclusive. It's Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. Both are named Hawkeye. And this figure is going to be like the main attacker of the team. Avengers, Shield, Young Avengers, Detective, Martial Artist, and Spy keywords. They have the Avengers team ability and the Shield team ability, which is going to come into play later. They have a trait, Grapple Arrow. Free, place Hawkeye and Hawkeye in a square of a different elevation within range and line of fire. Friendly bystanders named Kate Bishop can use this trait. Okay, so it's almost like the wall crawl ability from Spider-Man Beyond Amazing. A lot of figures in that set had this like wall crawl ability where you could go up. You could place them 4 squares away on a square of different elevation. But one thing that's really important here with this trait is that it's place Hawkeye and Hawkeye in a square of different elevation within range and line of fire. So Hawkeye's range is 6. So if they have range and line of fire, if it's within 6 squares and line of fire, you can place them on a square of different elevation. So that's more than 4. You're going to get a possible 6. That's really good. Okay. Also another trait, 2 Hawkeyes, doesn't that get confusing? Once per turn, when Hawkeye and Hawkeye makes an attack, after resolutions they may make an attack. So they can do 2 attacks per turn. Also at the beginning of your turn, Hawkeye and Hawkeye may generate a Kate Bishop bystander. If they do, they can't use this trait until Kate Bishop is removed from the game. So let's take a look at Kate Bishop, the bystander. So this is the Kate Bishop bystander. She's really good. She's autonomous. If she's generated, give her a die showing any result. Kate Bishop can use standard powers printed on the click number of Hawkeye and Hawkeye's card that matches her die's result. When Kate Bishop is KO'd, deal Hawkeye and Hawkeye 1 damage. So she's got great stats. She's got 7 speed, 11 attack, 17 defense, and 2 damage with 2 targets, 6 range with 2 targets. And she can take powers from Hawkeye and Hawkeye here. So any one of these first 6 clicks, she can use those powers. If you just put the die in, you wouldn't be able to do click 7 because a single die only has 6 sides to it. But you could take any one of those first 6 clicks and use the powers for her with those clicks. So like you can give her running shot Pensai and enhancement. You can give her running shot precision strike. You can give her sidestep energy explosion with super senses and perplex. If you wanted to give her perplex, if you want, you can give her stealth and Pensai, and combat reflexes, and the range combat expert goes along with that. So if you just give her stealth and she gets the benefit of the range combat expert. So you can do a lot with her if you produce that bystander, and it's kind of like a toolkit. You can get a lot of utility out of it. It's a multi-tool bystander that you can use in many different ways. And if you don't want to use her at the beginning of your turn, if you don't generate her, then Hawkeye gets an extra attack. So you can actually get 2 attacks out of Hawkeye if you don't generate the bystander at the beginning of your turn. Okay. So that's Hawkeye. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this character. Also, to be mentioned, Hawkeye shoots through hindering, improved targeting, hindering, improved targeting characters, and improved targeting out of adjacency. So that's really good. So let's take a look at the next figure. I know you got a peek at Miss Marvel, so she will definitely be used later. But let's take a look at so let's take a look at Miss Marvel since she was up there before. So Miss Marvel is also going to be on the team. All right, so we're going to use Miss Marvel at 50 points. So Hawkeye was 75. Miss Marvel is going to be 50 points. She has traded Close Combat Expert and Shape Change. She has another trait: when establishing theme teams, choose a keyword for Miss Marvel to gain this game. If Miss Marvel is on a theme team, for a keyword printed on her card, which she is because she has Avengers printed on her card, then she can use probability control. If she is on a theme team for a keyword not printed on her card, she can use perplex. So in this case, she's going to have probability control and not perplex. She'll have probability control. She has a speed power that says free, choose one to last until you choose again. Tiny size: when an adjacent character begins a move, after resolutions, you may place Miss Marvel adjacent to them. And then, or you can choose standard size and flurry, or you can choose colossal size and charge. So, the idea with her, she also has Avengers Team ability. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to choose an opposing team ability to gain +1 attack. So Miss Marvel will choose someone. She'll get the +1 attack from the Avengers Team ability. She also gets +1 attack and +1 damage from Close Combat Expert. So she's a 12 for 3. Possibly 12 for 3, depending on who she's attacking. And she's got prob, which is great. The idea is the beginning of on your first turn, you free action to make her tiny size. And that way, when an adjacent character begins a move, after resolutions, you may place Miss Marvel adjacent to them. And then on your second turn, when you do your alpha strike, or when you move somebody, you can place her adjacent, and then she can then free action on that second turn to give her that flurry, and then she can flurry for 12-3, or if you have somebody with empower, 12-4. Okay, so that would be really good, right? So she can be quite potent, and we're going to use her in combination with the next figure, which is Captain America Pegasus. That one. So let's take a look at Captain America. Captain America is really good. We're going to use him at 40 points. He has traded energy shield deflection and leadership. Other friendly characters that are adjacent or have the Asgardian or Avengers keywords can use energy shield deflection. So he's giving your whole team energy shield deflection, which is awesome, right? Because your team is Avengers. He has hypersonic speed when Captain America uses it and hits after resolutions. Choose up to 2 friendly characters. This turn, the chosen characters can use charge and modify speed +1 when they use it. And that's just really good if you need it. If you need to give somebody charge, you can do so. He also moves through characters, so that gives him increased mobility. He on his 40-point line, he's got 8 speed with that hypersonic speed, 11 attack with a attack special called Yarnbjorn. When Captain America targets a single character with an attack, that character can't use defense powers, and that's just really potent. Making an attack where a character can't use defense powers, that eliminates super senses. It eliminates any kind of defense power, even stop clicks. It will go through stop clicks. So having him hypersonic up and deal potentially 3 damage without any defense powers is really good. Okay, and he can hypersonic, and then if Miss Marvel is adjacent to him, then Miss Marvel will be placed adjacent to him at the end of the move action from the hypersonic, and then after resolutions, then you'll have Miss Marvel available. She'll be placed after resolutions, and then she'll be available to make her flurry attack to follow up from Captain America's attack. So you'll have multiple attacks, multiple potential for attacks there. That's some good offense. Captain America combined with Miss Marvel. He will not benefit from Miss Marvel's Empower, because she gets placed after resolutions. However, Miss Marvel will benefit from Captain America's Empower, which is good because then she'll get the +1 damage. So far we have Hawkeye, Captain America, Miss Marvel. So then we really want somebody to be able to move these guys around and transport them around. So I think the next figure that we have to look at is Falcon. Okay. So Falcon is from Avengers 60th anniversary. He's a rare, set number 30. He's got the Avengers and Soldiers keywords. He also has the Avengers team ability. He has a trait move, and after resolutions. So move action, move. After resolutions, you may choose a standard friendly character that shares a keyword with Falcon that he moved through during this action. If you do, place that character adjacent to him. So the idea is you would move with him through Captain America and also adjacent to Miss Marvel. So then after he's done moving, not carrying anybody. Actually, he could carry somebody else if he wants. But you would be careful not to carry Miss Marvel because then she will not be able to flurry. So make sure you're just moving adjacent to Miss Marvel and through Captain America. That will place Captain America adjacent after his move action, and it will also place Miss Marvel adjacent. And then Captain America can hypersonic, and Miss Marvel can be placed again after Captain America's hypersonic. So that's something that you want to be careful about doing if you're using that particular like Alpha Strike idea with Falcon and Miss Marvel and Captain America. And Falcon can also, keep in mind, Falcon can also carry someone when he's doing this. But whoever he carries cannot take a costed action after they've been carried. So Falcon also has a speed power charge. When Falcon uses it after resolutions, you may roll a d6 and move him a number of squares up to half the result. So that gives him a little, little something he can do when he actually does make an attack, when he charges to make an attack. But keep in mind, you can't do his aerial extraction while he's charging. Those two things don't combo together because the aerial extraction has to be a move action. Okay. His defense power is energy, shield deflection, and toughness. And he has close combat expert. So he can hit for quite a bit. He does have the Avengers Team ability, so he could possibly get a +1 attack. So he could possibly be a 13 for 3, or even a 13 for 4 if he picks up an object and uses it in the attack. So Falcon can do some damage if you need him to, but basically he's on this team for being a taxi more than anything, and to help you complete your Alpha Strike. That's why Falcon is on this team. Okay. So far we have Hawkeye at 75. We have Miss Marvel at 50, so that's 125. We have Falcon at 50, so that's 175. And we have Captain America at 40, so that's 215. Okay. So now we have 85 points left. So next we're going to have Spider-Man. And this is the super rare Spider-Man from Avengers 60th anniversary. We're gonna play him at 25 points. So Spider-Man is he's got the Spider-Man team ability and team player team ability. He has the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Marvel Knights, Spider-Man family, celebrity, reporter, and scientist keywords. Spider Sense. Once per turn, when Spider-Man is attacked, you may reroll the attack roll. So that's one of his traits. Another trait that he has, and this is really why we're playing him, is that he has friendly characters that are adjacent or have the Avengers keyword have team player. So he's giving everybody on your team the team player team ability, which means that they can copy another copyable team ability, okay, from anyone on your team. So if they want, they can copy Spider-Man family as a team ability to give them a little extra defense. But you'll see why we're including him in a moment. He also has a speed power, but he does not have that. Well, he does get that on his last click. He doesn't start with that power, but if you do get him to his last click, he has a speed power, charge, flurry, plasticity. When Spider-Man hits after resolutions, choose one, give a hit character an action token, or a hit character modifies attack -2 until your next turn, or a hit character gains immobile until your next turn. But that he has on his last click. Really, we're starting him on click 7, so he's going to have super strength if you need to pick up something that's a heavy object or a special terrain. He can pick it up, which is useful. 18 defense with super senses and the Spider-Man TA, so that's pretty good. And then also he has outwit, and he has 3 damage, 10 attack, 3 damage. So he actually has some pretty good stats for 25 points. But we're playing him for that Marvel team up trait, where he gives everybody team player. Okay. And the next figure on this team, and that's him at 25. So that brings us up to 240 points. So then we're going to play Ant-Man, the Legacy Ant-Man from Avengers 60th anniversary at 25 points. So this is going to bring us up to 265 points on our team. Ant-Man has the Avengers team ability. He's got the Avengers, Illuminati, and Scientist keywords. He has a trait, sideline active. When a friendly character named Hank Pym, Wasp, or Giant Man would be KO'd, you may instead replace him with Ant-Man or on click number 4. Okay, we're not using him on our sideline, so we can ignore that trait. That's really not useful for us. But what is useful for us is his speed power, temporary Pym particles, charge, sidestep, and stealth. Free, choose an adjacent character. That character gains either giant size or tiny size until the beginning of your next turn. Okay. And he's also got precision strike. He's got perplex. He has he's got some good mobility. He's got sidestep. He's got charge. But so the perplex is really nice to have him for 25-point perplex. But one thing that we can do, and this is kind of an alpha strike with Hawkeye, is and I'll go back to show you, but we can perplex up Hawkeye's attack. Our next figure is also going to have perplex. So we're going to perplex up Hawkeye's attack by 2, making him a 13 attack. We are going to copy, everybody's going to copy Hawkeye's shield TA, which is shield team ability. So if we look at Hawkeye again, he has the shield TA, okay? Everybody's going to copy his shield TA. You can on the first turn if you want, or on the second turn after you, because I'm assuming if you win, if you go first, you'll have first turn immunity. Either first or second turn. If you want to do your Alpha Strike with Hawkeye, this is another option you can do instead of doing an Alpha Strike with Captain America and Miss Marvel. You can have 3 characters power action using the shield team ability to bump up Hawkeye's damage for range attacks, bump it up to a 6, right? So you bump Hawkeye's damage up to a 6 using 3 shield TAs, shield team ability. Also, you would have it so that Ant-Man sidesteps in front of Hawkeye and makes him a giant size figure. And then you have 2 other figures adjacent to Hawkeye as well. So that's giving Hawkeye plus 3 range from the shield team ability. So now Hawkeye can place himself with the grapple arrow trait. He can place, it says place Hawkeye and Hawkeye in a square of different elevation within range and line of fire. Friendly bystanders named Kate Bishop can use this trait. So now his range is 9 instead of 6, and his line of fire is unblocked because he's a giant. So assuming you're on an outdoor map, this really works well because he's a giant and he can see over blocking. So and he can see over pretty much everything on an outdoor map. So you can basically put him on any square of elevated 9 squares away, right? Really works well on construction site map, or even on the if you want to go on a long map. It works well on the Batcave map because that has a lot of elevated. Or let's say someone takes you to a map. Let's say you don't pick map, and someone takes you a map that you're not sure about. As long as you have, since the theme format is constructed, you can bring some squares of elevated as part of your special terrain. You bring some elevated with you and place them on the map so that you can get Hawkeye to place themselves 9 squares away. And it's a really good Alpha Strike because then once he's placed 9 squares away, he can running shot 4 squares after that, so that's 13 squares. And then he'll have 6 range from wherever he's shooting, so that's a 19 square swing. It's a 19 square reach, which is really good. That's like the whole map of like a long map. That's actually almost an entire long map that you could then make 2 attacks with Hawkeye assuming you perplex his attack up twice. That's actually a 14 attack for 6 damage. 2 attacks. Actually 15 attack if you're using the Avengers Theme ability. So depending on who you're attacking. So you could potentially get a 19 square reach with Hawkeye and Hawkeye for 15 attacks, 6 damage, multiple 2 attacks using 15 attacks, 6 damage. So I think that's a really cool combo. You would need to use Ant-Man to pull that off, to make him a giant size figure, and you would need Spider-Man to give everybody the shield TA. So I think that's really cool. I'll show you Ant-Man one more time. And I'm actually excited to run this to see how it works in person, because it's just a really cool combo to pull off. And if you don't want to use that combo, you can always use the other combo with Captain America, Pegasus, and Miss Marvel and Falcon, which is also an amazing combo. And so we have 35 points left. And so I was thinking of like another good Avenger figure for 35 points. So, just to give another perplex and also some barrier and some TK if you need it, I think Scarlet Witch is really good for 35 points. So this is Scarlet Witch. She is from the Avengers 60th anniversary set also. She's set number 18. She's an uncommon. She has the Avengers and mystical keywords. Chaos magic is her damage power. Perplex and probability control, but only to target opposing characters. She's got sidestep, TK, barrier if you need it. That's really good. And she has that perplex, which is really good. And prob, situational prob. So you have 2 perplexes on this team. You have prob from Miss Marvel and then situational prob from Scarlet Witch. So possibly 2 probs, 2 perplexes. You have lots of high offense. So I think this team would be fun to run. Do I think that it's necessarily something that's going to win like a huge tournament or a huge event? It remains to be seen. I don't think so, but I think it's a really cool combo to pull off. It might be successful at your local store. I think it's really cool. Another thing you might consider doing instead of Scarlet Witch, if you have that 35 points, you might use Mantis for 25 points instead. I can show you Mantis. If you use Mantis for 25 points, then you have 10 points for equipment, and you can maybe put like Skybreaker on Captain America. That's just an option, right? There's Mantis. She's 25 points. She also has Perplex. You know, that will give you 10 points to use Skybreaker. I'll show you Skybreaker. So Skybreaker would give Captain America, the Pegasus, Captain America would give him an extra attack. If he uses blades, then once per turn when this character uses it after resolutions, they may make a range attack using improved targeting adjacency, but only to target a hit character. So it would give him a potential of 2 attacks with Captain America, you know, which is good, you know. So you could, that's a potential variation you can use. But I am just going to stick with Scarlet Witch, I think, for now, just because I really like her as a figure and I like having that barrier. But yeah, so I mean, let's take a look at the overall team that I have. So you can take a look at the figures themselves. We have Falcon, Miss Marvel. Starting from the left, going to the right, you have Falcon, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye and Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, the Legacy Ant-Man, Captain America on the Pegasus, and then you have Scarlet Witch there. So that team I'm pretty excited to run. I think it'll be a fun team to use. We'll see how it does. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other ideas for theme teams, for the 300 Modern theme format, and let me know what you think about this team. And so don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and don't forget, everybody, wake up and smell the Clix.